Hello, how is everyone doing? Everyone tired of sitting down? Okay, one more panel after this really great speech by Lieutenant Governor Mary Taylor of Ohio. I'm very happy to introduce her in her Ohio Great program because I think we need to start talking about the local influence of international exchanges and help you have some tools to use tomorrow when you are up on the Hill advocating. Just a few minutes to give you some background on the Fulbright Association. We are the U.S. Alumni Association representing the alumni from the Fulbright program. We do that work through 60 statewide chapters. And just the other day, I was on the phone with my Ohio chapter president, and that chapter president told me about a welcome reception they had where they introduced all of the visiting Fulbrighters to their local alumni for mentoring and for relationships in the future. He was so thrilled about it, and also they brought all of their visiting Fulbrighters, of course, to the Ohio State Fair, and I'm sure a Buckeye game. We have 3 Fulbrighters in Congress, Congressman John Sarbanes, Tom Cole, and Dave Loebsack, all 3 of which are wonderful representatives of the Fulbright program. They love their Fulbright, so if you're meeting with any of them tomorrow, make sure you mention it. Congressman Cole told me a great story recently about his Fulbright. And I asked him what it was like to apply, and he said he came from a military family, and they couldn't reconcile why he'd have a different path than going into the military. And he basically said that in the end, his grandfather and father, who had both been colonels in the Army, said to him, when you go overseas, make sure you get to know someone on the inside, because if a conflict arises, you'll have a friend in another country, and you'll be able to come to a peaceful resolution. And I'll tell you, they probably didn't know at that time that their son would rise to a position of prominence in the U.S. government and have the kind of influence that he does. For tomorrow, make sure you know the numbers. There's a maximum return on investment for international exchanges. In a recent NAFSA report, of the nearly 1 million international students that were here in the U.S. last year, they spent nearly $30 billion. And represented 373,000 jobs. In Ohio alone, post-secondary education is the 15th largest export, and in Congressman Cole's district of state of Oklahoma, international students represent $260 million in annual revenue. The need for cultural understanding has never been greater, and I challenge you to think about the Ohio Great program, which Lieutenant Governor Taylor will talk about shortly, which stands for Global Reach to Engage Local Talent. Both the Fulbright Association, other exchange programs, IVLP, are concentrating on local talent and concentrating on making sure that we are all together so that international exchange is a priority for the U.S. government. So when you're listening to Lieutenant Governor, make sure you think about how programs like Ohio Great could stimulate your local state's economy and make a difference. Without further ado, let me introduce Lieutenant Governor Taylor, and I'll just give a brief introduction. After nearly a decade of private sector experience as a CPA, Lieutenant Governor Taylor rose from the Ohio General Assembly to represent the 43rd District. In 2011, you were sworn to serve as Lieutenant Governor and are currently fulfilling your 2nd term alongside Governor John Kasich.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the invitation to join you today. I am going to speak specifically about the Ohio Great program, but as I'm speaking about it and telling you about this program in Ohio, I hope you will listen to it in the context of what you could be doing in your own state or what other opportunities you may see to launch or be a part of a program that is like this. Lauren, do you mind standing up? Sorry, I didn't tell her I was going to introduce her. This is Lauren McGarity. She is leading our Ohio Great program. So if you have lots of questions after we're done, I'm sure Lauren would be very happy to answer them, as would I, but Lauren's doing a great job. So thank you to Global Ties US and Jennifer Clinton and all of you for the invitation to be with you. It's an honor to be introduced, of course, by Jennifer Oxley, both because of the amazing work that she's doing to promote exchanges, the sharing of cultural, educational, and economic experiences, but also, of course, because I've had the honor to admire and meet her father-in-law, former Congressman Mike Oxley, who sadly recently left us, but who left a tremendous legacy. So thank you, Jennifer, wherever you went, for everything that you do, and I certainly appreciate being with you today. The content of this strategic dialogue is really valuable because exchanges truly impact a number of areas of society and public policy, from security and cultural growth to education and economic development. It is my pleasure to be here to share with you why exchanges matter to the state of Ohio and some efforts we are engaged in to maximize the opportunities for and benefits from these exchanges. As Lieutenant Governor, I have the pleasure every day to promote Ohio as a whole, whether it's our award-winning state parks, our nationally recognized Columbus Zoo and Aquarium, our robust higher education infrastructure, or how we continue to grow and diversify our business climate. Since 2011, we've created more than 400,000 jobs in the private sector, and our unemployment rate is at 4.7%, which is below the national average. We've been successful in Ohio because we've been willing to collaborate with many partners to come up with innovative ideas that will move Ohio forward. International exchanges are an important part of our moving our state forward, positioning Ohio to compete in the 21st century economy and creating cultural opportunities for Ohio students. There is no one in this room who needs me to tell you that our world is more connected today than ever before. This is why we are focused on globalizing our regions and strengthening ties with foreign governments and businesses in order to boost development and address global challenges that impact local communities around the world. 4 of Ohio's urban centers, Akron, Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati, are members of Global Ties US, are engaged in really exciting work, including hosting hundreds of international visitors each year to build partnerships and strengthen the connections between our countries at the individual and local level. Economically, Ohio is participating in the global economy like never before. Our economic development partner in Ohio is called Jobs Ohio. It was created in 2011 to bring an innovative private sector approach to economic development. Since 2013, Jobs Ohio has begun rebuilding Ohio's international presence and developed a global representation strategy. We now have a strong presence with European and Asian coverage, as well as our closer North American partners, and continue to make international relationships an important part of Ohio's economic strategy. As a result, last year, Jobs Ohio had its best years in terms of foreign direct investment, and I can personally attest to attending groundbreakings, meetings with corporate leaders, and seeing Ohio jobs created by international-based companies. We also know the value that international students bring to our education system through culture and how that benefits native Ohio students as well. There are currently 29,488 international student visa holders enrolled in colleges or universities across Ohio, which support more than 11,000 Ohio jobs and contributes nearly $1 billion to our state's economy. Ohio's post-secondary education of international student is the state's 15th largest export. I think Jennifer said that, which speaks to the win-win nature of exchanges. The knowledge, experience, and relationships these international students gain and contribute while in Ohio goes back to them to the benefit of their own local communities. So Ohio GREAT, which stands for Global Reach to Engage Academic Talent. Recognizing the value of international students, Ohio is currently engaged in an innovative approach to maximizing the value of these students and creating a strategic approach to making Ohio more attractive. Ohio GREAT is a unique and innovative state-level initiative with 3 integrated objectives. Number 1, promote Ohio as a post-secondary destination globally. Number 2, encourage international post-secondary students to remain in Ohio. And number 3, enhance global economic competitiveness for native Ohio students. Our research tells us that increasing the share of international students college students in Ohio from 4.1% to 6% would generate an estimated total $1.2 billion and support over 17,000 jobs. Correcting Ohio's lagging retention of international students would generate almost $100 million in the state's economy, support more than 1,000 new jobs, and connect high-achieving students to Ohio's workforce for 2.5 years after earning their degree. And all of this can be done without changes to federal regulations, just by creating a focus that maximizes our opportunities under the existing student visa. We've prioritized the need to connect our businesses and educational communities to ensure Ohio has a state-level strategic approach to creating business experience opportunities for our foreign and native students. In creating these opportunities, we are also creating a new approach to chipping away at a #1 challenge facing our businesses: the supply of workers. Ohio's model is a first of its kind. We recognize the need for attracting international students with businesses and the long-term benefit it will have on our economy. Our website, which is www.ohio-great.us, is a tool to help interested students know what's available to them, even if they don't know what questions to ask. Since the launch of this last year, we've increased awareness among 27 countries that Ohio delivers world-class higher education that drives business innovation, improves lives, and creates prosperity in a global market. There is a study, this is on the website, right? If you would like to look at the study that we did in Ohio, and some of the facts and statistics I've quoted come from this study, but it is available on the website, and I certainly would encourage you to take a look at that. So in conclusion, our country is very diverse and sometimes difficult to get everyone on the same page. With a state-level approach to attracting talent, both businesses and universities can benefit from these strategic outreach efforts. As the Lieutenant Governor, I'm involved because I want to bridge the gap and intertwine stakeholders that benefit from each other to help make Ohio an even better place to live. Ohio Great puts Ohio on the map as a strong international partner. We are at the forefront of a number of 21st century industries and continue to create jobs and opportunities for international students. There are endless possibilities and partnerships available. We just have to continue to build the relationships and keep an open dialogue with Ohio businesses, international businesses, and leaders from other countries to establish strategic exchanges of human capital and business growth. Everyone knows that word of mouth is a powerful tool. Exchanges create unique opportunities for the world to learn that Ohio is a great place to study, to work, and to live. Ohio's new slogan is "Find It Here." Our sharing our story with everyone, both nationally and internationally, is an important way to show the world why we believe this slogan truly describes the rich and diverse experiences you can find in the state of Ohio. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about Ohio Great, and of course I'll be here this evening and tomorrow, as will Lauren. And I would encourage you to reach out if you have any questions about how a program like this might be worthwhile checking into, whether it's in your particular state or if you happen to be involved in higher education, which many of you may be. Certainly look forward to the opportunity to continue to reach out and grow this program in Ohio, but also would certainly be interested in seeing it be a success in any state across the state, the United States of America, because we truly believe it's been a great advantage and benefit to not only Ohio students, but of course international students looking for opportunities here in the United States and of course in Ohio. So thank you for the opportunity to be with you. I appreciate that.